Hello again. A warm welcome to my second video. If you watched my last video to the end, you'll know that I mentioned that I would do Minecraft next. You'll also know that I mentioned that it might not be what you expect. Well, here it is. Modded Minecraft. Not only that, but I am playing on an older version of the game, 1.12.2. There are two reasons for this. Number one, the mods available for this version are awesome. Number two, I like the older textures, to be honest. There are over 140 mods in this pack. It's quite a lot, but it's comprised of all my favorite mods. Tech, magic, building, world gen, structures, bosses, difficulty, dimensions, automation, and even more are in this pack. I'm super excited to start this playthrough. Not only because of the game I'm playing, but because... No more watermark! I'm using a new editor called DaVinci Resolve, which has no watermark. Also, I hope the text is easier to read now, and it's in a better position. Now, there are going to be multiple episodes of this playthrough, but I probably won't post them all in a row. I'll post other stuff in between. I've still got other games planned like Terraria, Die of Death, and TBOI. I'll probably do some stuff in JJS public servers, and I'll cover the update when it comes out. I wonder who the next early access character will be. I'm hoping for a disaster curse, maybe. Okay, intro done. He'll start actually explaining what's going on. He'll explain what's going on in each video, as if you have no idea what any of these mods are, because you probably don't. My spawn here kinda sucks. I spawned in a snowy taiga, but there is a structure with some melons to get me started. However, there is a bit of lag at the start, when loading new chunks. While I was getting those melons, I spotted oak trees in the distance, so I go towards them. The mod that adds these custom trees is called Recurrent Complex. It mainly adds structures, but it also does this. As I was running around, I found a little cave entrance, so I decided to try my luck for some ores, mainly iron. I have a mod in this pack called Worley's Caves. It changes cave generation significantly. It's super fun to run through these sprawling caves. There are rarely any dead ends. Mining trips can last for ages. It's time to start mining. The first thing you may notice is the sheer amount of ores, and there's a reason for that. There are a lot of different tech mods in this pack, and each adds their own ores. However, a lot of them add the same ores. So there are loads of ores of the same type, like copper or tin. I don't know if there is an easy fix to this, but I do have a mod called Unidict, which makes it so they all turn into ingots from the same mod. So it isn't too big of an issue, and it makes early game quicker. I noticed this zombie down below me, so I went back up to make an axe to deal with it. This isn't a vanilla zombie, though. This is a hungry zombie from the mod Special Mobs. This mod adds variants to most vanilla mobs that do different things and are harder to fight. The hungry zombie is faster and heals quickly. Luckily, I have the high ground. There's also the Shade. This mob is from Project. Vibrant Journeys, which is mainly a terrain generation mod, but it also adds a few mobs, more of which you will see later. Also, I would like to mention that my brother posted my last video to a Discord server with like 200 people, and it was very well received. Thanks so much to my brother and those who watched it. I know now that there is a demand for this kind of content, and that people enjoyed what I made. It makes me so happy to know that people liked it. Thanks so much. Here I ran into a group of mobs, a skeleton and a goon. Yes, that's what it's actually called. The goon is from Vibrant Journeys, and it spawns silverfish, so I choose to leave before I get jumped. I can see that it's starting to get dark, so I'm in a rush to find sheep to make a bed before mobs start spawning. I kill some cows along the way so I can get some proper food. I'm not going to live on melons forever. There they are. I can craft a bed and go to sleep now. That was lucky. I take this moment to stop and cook some food and smelt some iron for basic gear. It's about time that I set out looking for a place to build a base. I found a small structure added by Recurrent Complex that had iron in it, so I was mining it when... What the hell? Thank God I managed to escape. I'm honestly surprised that I managed to outrun them since they were on horses. Well, the only thing to do now is keep searching for a place to base up. While exploring, I found this house. This is actually a dungeon, but the upstairs is safe and has some loot. Inside, I found a mending and unbreaking iron sword. This will be my main weapon for now, then. Not too far from that, I found a skeleton spawner, and there was a diamond in the chest. What a lucky find to spot a mob spawner in a surface cave. After more exploring, I spotted a shipwreck. This version is before the aquatic update, so this is added by a mod. Probably Recurrent Complex or Ruins. Another structure mod. Here I found a villager house and... All right then. This house had another diamond in it. Let's leave. Now. As I was already settling down to sleep, I decided to craft a backpack, as my inventory was full and cluttered. These backpacks are from the mod iron backpacks, which means that I can upgrade it into an iron, gold, and diamond backpack. I only have the resources for an iron one right now, but it will do. Not far from where I stopped to sleep, I found a large structure with loads of ores in it, mostly coal and iron. Also, as I was making this video, there was an event put on the JJS page saying that there would be 2 new characters alongside the Higuruma rework in the next update. I'm so hyped for this next update, and it says it's on March 20th, so that will be my next video, I guess. A little more exploring, and I found this little dungeon. I was cautious at first, but no mobs ended up spawning because it was open to daylight, so I took the loot and ran. Finally, after all that exploring, I found the perfect place to build. I'm going to dig into the mountain for my base. I like making these kind of bases in mod packs like these, because 1, they look cool, and 2, I can have as many rooms as I like, without having to worry about the exterior. Here I make a tool called a hammer. It mines in a 3x3 pattern, so it's perfect for digging out big rooms quickly. Here I made a tool called a chisel, which allows me to make variants of different blocks. It's super useful for decoration. This is the design I'm going for with the walls. I'll use these blocks for the floor and ceiling. This main room is done. Now I just need to put everything inside. Since I already used so many furnaces, I thought, why not just have a full wall of them? And this was the end result. Now it's time to get some chests in here, so I can empty my backpack. Now that I'm situated in here, and I've sorted all my chests, it's time to expand. I want to build a basic machine room. First, I want to build a small hallway that I can have more rooms splitting off of. Here's where the room is going to go, but I want to use a different material for it. I want to use marble for the machine room, because I like the idea of a white room, like a lab. This is the goon from earlier. It makes some pretty disgusting noises, to be honest, but since it's on its own this time, and I have better gear, I can kill it pretty easily. Since there are many of the same block variants for marble as there is stone, I decided to do basically the same design for this room, but with marble. Now that the machine room is built, the only thing it's missing is the machines. But I need more resources to craft the machines, so I need to go mining. Before I did that, though, I decided to add this cool sliding door from Malice's stores to the room. The main ores that I need for the machines I want to make are iron, gold, copper, tin, silver, lead, osmium, and redstone. I might pick up some other valuable ores along the way, but these are the main things I will be looking for. While mining some iron, I run into a baby skeleton. These are actually added by a tech mod called Mechanism. I couldn't tell you why, honestly. These little nuisances can be annoying to hit, but as long as you have a shield, you're fine, really. Oh look, a chest. What the fuck? That was a mimic from the mod Artifacts. This mod adds Terraria-esque accessories to the game, and killing mimics is a way to get them. This one dropped a shiny red balloon which gives me permanent jump boost and lets me auto-step up 1 block. I finished getting all the materials I needed, so I headed back up. What I didn't expect was to meet my disgruntled neighbors. This structure is right next to my base. I'll have to deal with these guys at some point in the future. Now I'm back at my base, and I've sorted everything. I'll show all the crafting I had to do at 3 times speed. Here's the first machine I made. This is called the Metallurgic Infuser. It's mainly used for alloying and crafting certain components. Now I go out to grab water for an infinite source, as the power generation method I'm using to start with is the steam dynamo from Thermal Foundation, which requires water and fuel. The real power generation method I'm going to use long-term is the wind generator from Mechanism. To make it, I need to use the Metallurgic Infuser to make some components with redstone and iron, and redstone and osmium. Now that I've made the windmill and some power cables called flux ducts, I place the windmill outside and hook it up to a power line leading inside. Now I begin to make the machines that I really wanted to make. The first is the pulverizer. This machine crushes 1 ore block into 2 ore dust, meaning that you double the amount of ores you get. Finally, I've crafted the final machine, the redstone furnace, which is a furnace that takes power to run instead of fuel. I make this small setup, where if I put ores into the chest above the pulverizer, it goes into the pulverizer, then the furnace and deposits to the chest above the furnace. That's all for this first episode of my Minecraft playthrough. I sincerely hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to let me know by dropping a like and sub for more content like this. This video will be going to that Discord server again, so thanks to them and my brother for giving me a bit of a kickstart to get my stuff out there. Thanks for watching. Godspeed.